And so it begins. The first tree down, and it fell the wrong direction. And an inside job. Well, hey y'all, and welcome to the Hillbilly Chicken Ranch. I'm Susan, your hostess, and you're seeing all the Bradford pears that we've cut down so far. We're waiting on someone to come and clear this for us before we cut down the last 4 trees. We have had a lot of wind damage in recent years that have brought down limbs from these Bradford pears. They're soft wood, and we had one dead out here we didn't even know was dead, so we're glad to see those gone. Because of the strong winds that we have in West Tennessee, potential tornadoes and so forth, we felt it was safer to bring these trees down than keep them. Now, we do have plans to put up a wind barrier with some cedars, and that will be done sometime later on, but for now, the trees are gone. This is the west side of our property. Of course, that shines into our mobile home in the evening, so I have to close the curtains, but we'll do what we have to do in the meantime to keep our home comfortable. We have been goal busting. This is goal busting 2026, and we are practicing the Resourceful Homestead this year. So y'all stick around because we've got a few projects that we have been working on, and I'm going to be in the garden cleaning up some of the debris left over in our raised garden beds. Okay, we have uncovered our strawberry bed, and unfortunately we have standing water on one end, and so we probably have lost some of our strawberry plants, but we do have a few that have survived on this end. I don't know if my husband's going to have to turn the tub in order for it to drain, or we're going to have to drill a hole where the water is standing to get it to drain. We've never had this problem before on our property, so that's something new. I did get out here and I cleaned out these 5 buckets. These are carrots I planted last year, and I do not see any carrots coming up, but we did uncover them. We have purchased some more of those red mineral buckets that we use for raised beds from the Amish. We paid $3.50 a piece this year. And I've also cleaned out inside these tubs. I've got several of them out here that I've cleaned out. And to my surprise, we have oregano. I believe this is oregano. It smells like oregano. Wonderful smell of fresh oregano. So we do have some oregano that came back from last year. I'm really excited about that. I'm going to flip the camera again. I've got a few more buckets out here that we haven't cleaned out yet, and then I'm going to take you to the back to our Victory Garden area. Believe it or not, that is one of our raised beds. We've got a lot of stuff to get cleaned out this year. And you have to pardon me because I'm walking over the straw bales that we had last year in this garden area. So all of these have to be cleaned out. I've got a lot of them, y'all. There's a lot of work ahead of us. So I'm already seeing red wasp out here, which I'm not happy about, but this is what I've got left to clean out, and then I've got some more up at the front of this garden area. So I either planted some onion or some garlic in these, and I've cleaned out some of the beds there, and I've got one here that we had planted carrots in, and I need to get that one cleaned out. So these, I've got 3 over here that need to be cleaned out. And I found some onions growing in the ground. And so I pulled those up. I'm going to take them in the house and chop them up and have some fresh onion to go in something today. And I think I'm going to start some flowers in this purple bucket. So here it is from the other angle. Or scarecrow there. And this garden area is actually going to go away. We're going to move all of our mineral buckets to a new location by the asparagus beds. So we're out here by the asparagus beds, and I've got to uncover the mineral buckets out here, but we're finally seeing some asparagus coming up in our bed. And there it is. So I need to get out here and clean this out, and maybe we'll get some fresh asparagus for this year. This is our other asparagus bed that is established. It's been established for about 2 years now, and I'm starting to see some fronds come up, so I'm excited about that. And these fronds will seed towards the fall and the winter. Alrighty, I'm not going to clean these beds today because we're expecting low temperatures tonight or tomorrow night, around 36. So I want to leave as much brush around them as possible, but these are the ones that are going to come back most likely. And see what I planted in this one. It looks like I might have something coming up in here. Okay. This was the anise hyssop, and I do see some growth at the very bottom. So they may come back, I'm hoping. And I believe this one is lemon balm or catnip. I'm thinking this is the lemon balm and that's the catnip there. And I'm trying to figure out how I'm going to walk around. This is definitely chocolate mint. It had a rough winter, but it's coming back. This is garlic I planted last year, and that's what the winds did to my bed, y'all. It pushed that soil all the way up. This I think it's just weeds in there. This bed had Italian parsley, and I don't know if we've got any coming up or not. And it may come back. This one had thyme, and I don't know if it's going to come back or not. And I'm not sure what was in this one from last year. But it looks like we got some citronella coming back in, maybe. And this is my sage. And I was seeing some sage sprouts in here, so I'm hoping that they'll come back and that last frost didn't kill it. So we've got a lot of work to do in this garden area. All these raised beds are going to be moved. We're going to try to move the tansy to a new location as well. And all of the plastic in here is going to come up, and we're going to do a chill garden in here with our ducks. So let me walk towards the other end. A lot of work. And I'm going to be working on these buckets while my husband and his friends are working on the trees. And we're dividing and conquering our goals for this year. I'm going to show you some clips that I took of them cutting down the trees and some photos and a little project my husband did inside for me. But I'm going to walk up here on this hill on the back side of the garden and see how the raspberry bush is doing. And this is probably going to be the duck home. We're hoping we can get a 10 by 10 dog kennel and turn it into a coop and allow them to reside separated from the chickens. So here's our little raspberry bush. I'm so excited we're going to get raspberries. All of the trees are going to come back here to the burn pile. And we're hoping that we can get them burned reasonably quickly. I'm not going to walk all of our blackberry bushes, but this one close to the house is starting to green up. So we should have blackberries before too long. And there's our little greenhouse set up. And I got to get out here and I got to open that greenhouse up because it's warming up today. I'm glad I moved. Glad I moved.
That's enough for tonight.
I said I'm glad I moved. Last week, my husband began a project out in our front yard to take down 6 of the Bradford Pear trees, and we have 4 more to come down. So here is what it looks like at that point that the trees are down. And then over the weekend, he did an inside project, which was replacing a ceiling fan that had stopped working. So here he is putting the fan up, and he's such a good handyman. We're goal busting. Well, we had a little bit of a spring harvest. We got a few pieces of asparagus, not many. Oh, there's one more. And I'm hoping to get more. What I do with these is I don't rinse them or anything. I just throw them in a bag and throw them in the freezer. And when we get enough for a meal or soup, I will pull them out. and some spring onion, fresh onion, that I can add to something. So that's going to be really tasty. And I can actually replant the roots and get some more onions out of it. So our fall winter garden doesn't look like it's done much of anything. We'll see what happens once the sunlight gets to that soil. Maybe those seeds will pop up. I'm hoping all the garlic and onions that I planted will come up. I did find one little red potato out there that I planted, so I'm hoping some red potatoes will start developing, and we'll get a good harvest from our fall winter garden while we're planting our spring and summer garden. We have a lot of projects, y'all, and we've had some setbacks. So please stick around. I can't talk about some of it right now, but I will be able to talk about it later on in the year. So y'all stick around for that. Thank you, my friends, for coming along with me on Goal Busting in 2026 on the Resourceful Homestead edition of the Hillbilly Chicken Ranch. Be blessed and a blessing. Here's some content I think you might like. Thank you for visiting our homestead. Don't forget to like, subscribe, comment, hype, and share to help our small channel grow. See you next time for more simple living, frugal tips, and farmyard fun.